Hey, it's Kenny here, chilling with Kenny C, joining me right here on TMV Cafe. Opening guest at this time, and from the looks of his clothing, he's in a rather good mood.
Who that?
Yeah, hip hop artist, and he is also the lead vocalist of the new metal band Static Headz that released their self-titled album last year. It's a dope album. If you haven't heard it, go get it, go stream it. It's on the platforms. The lead vocalist, Kevin Kross, he's back on the show and he's with me right now. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. You're in a very, very good mood. I see all Bengal up, head to toe. That had to be a dramatic ending to that game, I suppose. But yeah, pulled through. I'm a former Cincinnati resident. I lived there back the last time the Bengals won a playoff game. My family lived there. That was in '91, the Super Bowl
Wow.
season with Boomer Esiason.
Yep.
So I still get, and while I live in Kentucky now, I still got ties to the great state of Ohio. So to the real Bengals fans out there, including you, man, this is your night. You know, Cincinnati's getting wild right now. So congrats, man. And just your initial reaction to the Bengals ending the playoff drought, man. How are you feeling about this team right now?
I feel great, man. I've been a Bengals fan my whole life, and obviously it's been rough, like the past, you know what I mean, past little while. And it's good to see the whole entire culture of Cincinnati, of the Cincinnati Bengals organization change and kind of shift into into this new wave. So excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, and it starts with number 9, the QB that y'all got, and Joe Burrow, Joey B, and Jamal Chase. I mean, Higgins, CJ, Boyd. The offense is just ridiculous.
Yep.
You know, from the QBs and the skill players, and Joe Mixon, can't forget about him as well. And then the defense, y'all look nasty out there. And I'm in my feelings because of Trey Hendrickson. He played for my team, the Saints, and he's not a one-year wonder. He's legit. He's he's living up to the money that Cincinnati's paying him. So, but yeah, congrats to the Bengals, man. I was rooting for y'all since I have Cincinnati ties in me. So I'm at this point, out of the teams that's out there, I'm rooting for them to go all the way.
Yeah, man.
So
I used to be a Raiders fan growing up too. So I really loved the Raiders. I don't know why, just the color and just the bad boy attitude back in the day. So it was like, you know, if they had been playing anybody else, I'd have been rooting for them. But
back in the John Madden days, rest in peace to the legend John Madden, commentator, football coach, video game brand, just boom, you know, that's John Madden right there.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, the first time I interviewed you, we talked about you getting started in music. You talked about your hip hop music, and then you also mentioned that you was part of a band called Static Headz, a new metal genre that y'all presented. And next thing you know, I'm seeing y'all releasing some songs, and then y'all went on to release a full-length album, self-titled. So just with everything's going on with this pandemic and performing and music, live music getting back up and running, and how are you feeling about, you know, this album being out and y'all just hearing the reaction from it per se?
Man, it's kind of a double-edged sword a little bit, because the band is in Nashville, and I think I told you that, and then I live in Lexington. Mm-hmm. So I traveled down over the past few years to record vocals, to write, to do stuff like that, shoot the music videos and all that. And it's hard to get, just as you know, in the live shows and stuff like that. It's been difficult, and we're finally at that point. So We've just been pushing a lot with marketing and stuff thus far, and just trying to get our stuff out there, get it listened to by everybody we can. And I'm super proud of the work that we all put in, and the work that is now out there for people to listen to. That's really all we cared about, was getting our music out and having stuff for people to go listen to when they see the name Static Headz, when they see our music videos, being able to go check out that full-length album, which is, in a world where it's so single driven and so, driven by these, one songs. It really is a piece of, start to finish album that really, it's just got a whole vibe, the entire thing. So we're incredibly proud of that, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing a couple of release shows when we find the time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard the album last month during the holidays, just getting the feel for it. Like, I've already heard the 3 singles beforehand, and then once the album came out, I just literally got stuck in my apartment and listened to the whole thing from start to finish. And it is a well-rounded album. We're definitely getting, the hip hop side. You could get the rock vocals. Like I already knew Kevin Kross could spit bars. Like, I heard the Vocabulary Dragon album to begin with, and then I hear you doing this, and I said, okay, he gonna bring the bars. I definitely want to hear the rock side too. And you did your thing, man. You did your thing.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And I love the new metal sound. I loved it.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, the Limp Bizkit days, the Korn, Linkin Park, and Rage Against the Machine. I especially Limp and Rage. That those were my 2 favorites back then. Significant Other, and Zach De La Rocha with the dreadlocks. If I had dreadlocks, you see my hair sprung all over the cam here.
That Battle of Los Angeles album is one of the best. I mean, I can still go back and listen to that start to finish and just love every second of it. Same with Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, that first one, like untouchable. And I was big into Deftones and stuff too, growing up, and I've seen them a few times. So we definitely derived, I think, a lot of our guys in the band all kind of, a couple of them listened to that stuff in the 90s, a couple of them listened to kind of more new, Bring Me the Horizon, Asking Alexandria, stuff like that, and prog metal and Periphery and stuff. So big collection of voices in this album for sure.
Yeah, so self-titled album from Static Headz just came out late last year. Go stream it, go buy it. It's available on all the platforms, and that's Headz spelled with a Z, not with an S, just for clarification. So go listen to it. So, in the first interview, I asked about your influences in the hip hop side, but as far as new metal, or at least rock per se, who are some of your rock influences? Those inspired you in Static Headz?
Me personally, growing up, 311 was my favorite band, for a long time. And I still love those guys, and I still love that band, and they are still releasing like awesome albums and touring and all that. But my taste kind of changed. That's got that Cali kind of old school, 90s rock hybrid type deal. And I really have gotten into, because of my guitar player, Cody, I've really gotten into Bring Me the Horizon, and Periphery is my like favorite prog metal kind of, big, huge prog riffs with amazing vocals. And I listen to them almost more than anybody. So it's kind of, where you get those big full out ballad style choruses with, Bring Me the Horizon, Periphery and stuff like that. I feel like you get a little bit of that throughout the album. But then you've got, like I just said, Deftones, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park. I feel like there's kind of a plethora of those vibes all mixed in. But that's kind of what I still listen to, on a daily basis is, I'll go back and listen to Linkin Park, but then I'll listen to newer bands. I mean, Norma Jean, stuff like that, like heavy stuff. But then I really love the melodic. So if you're a metal singer or rock singer with a lot of big melodic choruses, I'm all about that. So, but yeah, man, Deftones is probably my favorite kind of, mix hybrid thing that you can't really put a genre on, as far as influences go for me, for sure. Deftones and Linkin Park.
Yeah, I like 311. I'm glad you brought them up, because there was that one song that I've loved a lot, and that was Come Original.
Yeah.
I was a TRF junkie back then, the Carson Daily, and they was playing all these videos, and then I saw 311. I'm like, man, these guys are something. Like, yeah, I like what I hear from them. So,
man, their live show it's awesome. That's just what they're known for. And people can listen to their singles on the radio, but they're amazing live. So, and they still play. So if you get a chance, definitely check them out. They're insane to hear live, for sure. Still, and they're in their 50s, 40s, 50s. So.
Yeah, I also like POD as well.
Same here.
I got to see them at Manchester Music Hall a couple of years ago.
Nice.
So, and then I met them. I met all the fellas and
Sonny.
Sonny, everybody. I've seen them twice now. The first was at Ichthus Festival, and then
I was at the same show.
Yeah, and then
they played the main stage. I remember that. It was so dusty.
Yeah, I mean, back when I lived in Columbus, we traveled to Kentucky specifically for Ichthus, the church that I went to at the time, the youth group. We all get together and go to these festivals. And I wasn't too familiar with some of the Christian acts at the time, but I was familiar with POD because of that Satellite album. So I was pumped. I couldn't do the staging. I couldn't do the mosh pitting and all that, because I was like far in the back. But once I told them about that Ichthus night, they it blew their mind. Like, man, you a real fan. You know us from way back. So so that was dope. So
my church used to do the same. We used to travel and stay and camp and stuff like that at those festivals. So it was a blast. It sucks they stopped doing that. The last time I was there, I think Project 86. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I saw them at the second stage, and that was one of the dopest shows that I'd seen. And they're a quote unquote Christian band, but it was crazy in there. It was such a good time. So I'm sad that fizzled out.
Yeah, man. That's where you get Christian music festivals to have that power, to have that impact per se. So I miss those days. I miss the camping.
Me too.
Those were like teenage years, middle school, high school days. So that definitely resonates for sure. And not much of an outdoor person now as far as camping and everything.
Me neither.
But those were good times. Yeah. So I'm joined with Kevin Kross, hip hop artist, also the lead vocalist of Static Headz. He's joining me on the show. So we talked about Static Headz. They got the self-titled album out. I hear you are working on or at least in the early stages of a next solo hip hop project.
It's done, bro. It's done. It's done.
It's done. Okay.
It's being mixed. I've got everything's done. I'm working with a new engineer that lives in Paducah named Callum B. I just did a song with him a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago. I dropped a single with him, and but Callum B, and he's mixing my stuff, mastering everything out of Paducah. Such a good dude, but it's all done. I'm missing a verse or two here or there from a couple of my friends. So once we get those, we're ready to rock. But yeah, it's being mixed. It's called Anxious Always. And that I got the cover that I'm about to release and stuff. I'm really excited about that. So it's got a lot of local local Lexington favorites on it. So and then I've got a couple other projects that are in the midst that I can't really bring up, but you know, it's I'm excited. I'm excited about what's to come hip hop wise.
I'm very curious to see who are some of these local hip hop artists you have on these albums. I mean, I think I might know who they are, but then
You know a few for sure.
Yeah, I know a couple. I mean, that's the beauty with mutual friends and local music. Like you just literally know everybody at this. I know just about everybody at this point. So the album's done literally, and so
Yeah,
it's just I'm looking forward to it.
Being mixed.
Yeah, I enjoy the vocabulary Dragon album that came out back in 2020, right when this whole pandemic thing hit. So, you know, I'm very, very looking forward to this album.
Thank you, man.
So,
I really appreciate your support and listening to Vocabulary Dragon. I still feel like that's you know, I feel like that needs more audience, and I feel like a lot of people really, really vibe with that one.
Yeah, I like the title track. I like Spaceship with Divine on there.
Love that song.
You got Mirage is on there, and a couple other local artists on there as well. So very, Shicey, and especially shout out to Shicey. He finally followed me on Twitter after all these years. So that's the
man.
Yeah, I get in that. That's a cool song.
He's on my upcoming one, but just me is on there. Shiesty Christ. So, do you know Jeff Newman? That he owns Blue Door Smokehouse. I don't know if you, but have you ever had Blue Door Smokehouse barbecue? It's the best barbecue in Lexington. Best barbecue you'll ever have. But he's a rapper. He was on Vocabulary Dragon. His name's Pit Boss on there, so he was on one of my songs on there. But he's on this next one. I love collaborating with Lexington artists. Fred C's on there. So that means more to me than, you know, I love releasing projects and music and love doing it myself. But, you know, a main thing for me that's always been is collaborating with people. I just enjoy it. Just bringing different styles together, bringing different backgrounds together and seeing what you can create. That's what makes me go, you know?
Yeah. Fred C, shout out to him. He's always on this grind doing his thing. Yeah. And I think he's got a show coming up at the Borough next month with Lane Allen and a couple of local artists. So I'll be there. I'm always at these shows anyway. So Static Headz album is out already. Go get it. The new solo Kevin Kross hip hop album is on the way. So stay tuned for that. And you know, I gotta talk Kentucky basketball with you, my friend. I gotta talk some Big Blue Nation chatter with you. So Kentucky defeated Tennessee earlier today. And of course, prior to that game, received sad news that the legendary Joe B. Hall passed away. And I saw a picture of you and your brother and Coach on there. So just talk about your memories of Coach and what he meant to Lexington, to Kentucky basketball. You lived there a lot longer than I have. I'm just, you know, just seeing what's out there, man. But talk about what Coach Hall meant just to Kentucky basketball in general.
And he's just such a lovable guy and such a good person. And, you know, I only met him a couple times, but, you know, when you hear that name, Joe B, it's like that just encapsulates what Kentucky basketball is. And he was just such a passionate person. And I feel like you really don't have Kentucky basketball where it is today without Joe B being there and being involved and being, you know, such an integral part of that program. But I met him at the Legends game, and he's just so nice and down to earth, man. So you know, I feel like he lived a great life and was just, you know, just a good person to anybody that he was around, and really rubbed off on people in the right way. So rest in peace to him, man. Love that dude, really do. But yeah, he is Kentucky basketball when you look at it, when it all comes down to it, man. he really encapsulates what it means and what it should mean to the fan base is, just being passionate. And, sports can turn nasty a lot of times. And I feel like Joe was more of I don't know. He's always had a smile on his face. And to me, at least, he's just a good person.
Yeah. Coach Hall definitely resonate with Kentucky basketball. I moved to Kentucky right when Tubby Smith won the championship. So I followed Kentucky basketball. I was more of an Ohio State guy. But then I kind of leaned towards, I guess you could say, if I'm a Kentucky bandwagon fan, I guess.
Hey, no worries.
But at least I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Look, I'm an Ohio State fan first, but I do every now and then watch some Kentucky games. And Coach Hall, I hear that name a lot and what he meant to the city, what he meant to Kentucky basketball, and what he meant to college basketball in general. He's one of the all-time greats. He's in the Mount Rushmore as far as not just Kentucky coaches, but just you can put his resume right up there with some of the all-time greats, and he matches up to anyone. And I like Coach Cal's dedication to him. He had a thing on his hand similar to Coach Hall, and I also like Kentucky starting with the 1-3-1 defense. Something that his defense was known for. So,
that was a cool day.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere Cal said he's going to hold a rolled up program for the rest of the season or something. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll have to see. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it definitely worked. I will say the one person that's standing out to me with this team is Oscar. Like, Kentucky fans can be a bunch sometimes, but if you work hard, if you show maximum effort per se, they're gonna love you. It's with him, like, he loves the game. He's passionate. He said he was going to average 20 rebounds a game, and people call him crazy. But dude's getting 15 to 20 rebounds a game. Like, rebounding, it takes effort, man. It may not mean much to some people, but those possessions matter. You need somebody that's say, let me get the ball. Now, maybe he'll have a Carmelo Anthony moment and just, get out the way. Nah, I doubt that, but yeah, he's playing some great basketball, and West Virginia fans got to be like, man, why do we let this guy go? Because he's like, I haven't seen this love from a transfer player since Reed Travis. So
he stays around. It's so cool to see him. Like, I can't believe that he stays at Rupp until like he signs the last autograph. Like, he's out there like an hour after the game ends, signing people's autographs and taking pictures. So that dude's a special person. He really is, man. Special person. It's awesome to have somebody like that on the team that has that type of passion and happiness and, is in the right place.
Yeah. If anyone got an issue with Oscar, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
no.
That's a genuine human being. It's just hearing his interviews, hearing him talk, like, this guy gets it. He knows what Kentucky basketball is, and he wants to do his part to lead his team back to the national championship contention. And with the way Kentucky looks right now, you got your usual freshmen, you got your veterans, mostly from transfer portal. So it's not just a bunch of freshmen that we're used to seeing with Cal teams. So I'm very intrigued to see how far the Wildcats can go come tournament time. Because
good formula to make a run for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, man, great chatting with you. You talented artist, good dude. You are definitely a big Billy Strings fans, from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, Billy's incredible, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the best out there. He's a prodigy. I mean, you don't even have to be a bluegrass fan per se to like Billy, but I don't know. He's an incredible talent, and he's in his like mid-20s. Like that guy has zero ceiling.
You said he's in his mid-20s?
Yeah, yeah. He's 26. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, he's not even 30. I mean, he's released what three albums, maybe four, but two big, huge albums that Home and then Renewal, his last album that just came out. But yeah, he's in him and Marcus King. I don't know if you've heard of Marcus King, but Marcus King band, those guys are phenomenal guitar players. And Billy's he's more of a picker and a that kind of bluegrass acoustic style, but Marcus is like a kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan reincarnate type of dude. That guy's filthy. So that's a big I'm a big fan of him too.
I did see Billy at the Railbird Festival this past August. I see him up close. The way he plays the solo banjo, like what?
Yeah, he's wild. I missed that. I was in Nashville getting tattoo work done.
Yeah.
And I missed that first day at Railbird. Kind of happy I did though, because I heard it was kind of like
terrible.
It was still cool. A lot of bad elements about it.
The weather didn't help, and some of the way they approached things, it was rough day one. Day two was a lot better.
It was great. I loved it. And we went to the first one, the first rail. Did you go to the first Railbird?
Yes, I did.
We met. My fiance and I went to the first Railbird, and that was such a good time. I really hope that it continues evolving as far as artists and the way the festival kind of runs. I mean, it's day one was day one this year. It's stuff like that happens. We're still got COVID stuff going on, and shorthanded on people, I heard. So that can't say enough good things about that festival, though. It's nice to have one of those so close to home.
Yeah, and more importantly, like you don't need big names to draw. You got hungry, determined artists, and they're ready to get that stage, and getting some local acts that you see in the other venues get that bigger platform. That's a big deal too. So props to them. Hopefully they've take care of some kinks and go on from there. So great chatting with you, Kevin. Congratulations to you and your Bengals and your Bengal gear and everything. The jungle will live on to another week, and I'm curious to see who they face next. And just thank you, man, for the show being on, and hopefully I'll see you and Static Headz maybe down the road. Thank you.
Kenny. I appreciate it, man. Hey, hopefully I'll see you at that Fred C show. I really want to show up at that one. So I'll hopefully I'll see you there, man. I'll run into you and we can chit chat a little more.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You take care, be safe. We'll chat again soon.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Peace, brother.
Right. Yes, sir. That was Kevin Kross doing his thing as always.